I didn't block her. I didn't send a final text. I didn't scream or slam a door on the way out. I just left. Because when your soul is tired of fighting for someone who doesn't fight for you, you don't look for closure. You look for peace. So I chose peace over pain. Not because I stopped loving her, but because I finally started loving myself. I thought she replaced me, that she moved on, that she barely noticed I was gone. Until one night, I found her standing outside my apartment, soaked, silent, and holding everything I thought she'd thrown away. We weren't a whirlwind romance. We were slow, gradual, comfortable. The kind of love that builds with long talks at 2 a.m. and grocery trips where you remember each other's favorite cereal. She knew everything, my fears, my past, the way I held my breath when I was about to break, and still, it wasn't enough. Somewhere between all the shared playlists and promises, she drifted. First, it was her silence, then her distance. Then the feeling that I was the only one showing up in a relationship meant for two. I asked her once, what had changed? She just shrugged and said, I don't know. That's the answer that cuts deepest, isn't it? Not the dramatic confessions, not the shouting matches, just apathy, indifference. So I let go. I didn't beg, didn't plead, didn't give her another chance to hand me crumbs and call it love. I packed my things and left the key on the counter, and with every step away from her, I felt the pain loosen its grip. I told myself that peace, even if it was lonely, was still better than feeling alone with someone beside me. In the weeks that followed, I tried to rebuild. Quiet mornings, books I never had time for, long walks without needing to explain where I was going. But it wasn't easy, because peace isn't instant. It's a choice. One you have to make over and over again, every time your heart misses what hurt it. And every now and then, I'd think about her. Wonder if she replaced me, if someone else got the version of her that I never could reach. I convinced myself it didn't matter. She made her choice, and I made mine. Then one night, everything changed. It was late. Rain fell in soft sheets outside my window. I was making tea, something I'd started doing to calm my nerves when the silence felt too loud. And then, a knock. Not loud, not urgent, just there. I opened the door expecting a neighbor or a package, but instead, there she was, soaked, tired, eyes red, like she hadn't slept in days. She didn't say anything, just held out a small box. Inside were pieces of me I'd forgotten existed. A key, a crumpled concert ticket, a note I wrote on her birthday, and a photo of us, laughing. The real kind of laugh you can't fake. I didn't come to ask for anything, she said, voice trembling. I just didn't know where else to go. I stepped aside. She walked in, dripping, unsure. It felt like a stranger entering a home she used to know. We sat in silence for a long time. Then she finally spoke again. I didn't replace you, she whispered. I thought you did, I replied. She shook her head slowly. I tried to forget, to fill the space you left. But nothing worked. No one felt like home. Her voice cracked. I didn't realize how loud it was without you, until you were really gone. I looked at her, really looked. Not the version I had built in my mind after I left, not the villain, not the ghost, just her, raw, regretful. Real. I hurt you, she said. Not with what I did, but with what I stopped doing. I stopped showing up. I stopped trying. And by the time I realized what I'd done, you were already gone. Tears welled in her eyes. I don't blame you. I wouldn't have stayed either. She reached into her jacket, pulled out a letter. I wrote this the night you left, but I couldn't send it. I didn't think I deserved to. She placed it on the table. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just needed you to know. I never stopped loving you. I just forgot how to show it. I didn't say anything. Not because I didn't feel, but because I felt too much. There were no grand speeches, no dramatic music, just two people sitting in the quiet space between past and possibility. She stood up slowly. "I'll go," she whispered. I'm sorry." She turned toward the door, then paused. "Even if you never speak to me again, thank you for choosing peace. It reminded me of what I lost when I stopped choosing us." And with that, she walked out. I didn't chase her, not because I didn't care, but because some moments are meant to sit in your chest for a while before you know what to do with them. I read the letter hours later. Every word felt like a bruise I hadn't realized was still healing. She wrote about fear, about self-sabotage, about the guilt of knowing you're being loved fully and not knowing how to return it. And at the end, she wrote, "If peace is what you found, I hope I never disturb it again. But if there's a part of you that still remembers what we had, I'll be waiting, not to fix it all, just to be real this time." I don't know what happens next. I don't know if she meant it, if I'll ever open that door again, if peace and love can live in the same place. But I know this: sometimes the people who break you come back carrying the pieces they didn't know they dropped. And it's up to you to decide if picking them back up will bring you healing or hurt. If this story found you in a quiet moment, share it. Drop a comment below if you've ever chosen peace over pain, and tell me, what would you do if the person who left came back holding everything you thought they'd forgotten? Because sometimes love doesn't end. It just gets quiet until it finds the courage to speak again.